Hey guys, it's Hannah. I hope you're well. So today's the 10th of October and it's World Mental Health Day, so I thought doing a video would be quite appropriate, and because I put it on my Instagram the other day saying would you want to see a mental health video, and a lot of people voted yes, and there was some accidental no's, but that's okay. I understand. No, I do understand what happened. So this video is going to be me talking about, I guess, my journey and what I've been through and where I am at the moment, I guess, and just like maybe on how to cope better. So believe it or not, I actually have social anxiety. Now not a lot of people believe that. When they find out, they're like, what? But you're so confident, you get along with people. Not that I get along with people, but people are literally shocked. I do promise I do have it, because life can be a struggle and life has been a struggle because of it. So I remember when I first kind of got it, I must have been in sixth form. Now I was on a train back from Birmingham with my cousins, and this train was absolutely packed. Like, the way I compare it is sardines in a can. Like, there was no space at all. It was just horrible. Now I eventually got a seat and I thought I'd be able to calm down, but I just couldn't stop shaking. I was feeling hot, sweaty, feeling really sick. Had no idea what was going on. Was taken to the walk-in centre, and I won't lie, I had had a lot of takeaways that week. So the doctors had put it down to food poisoning, which of course I believed because they're the professionals, they're going to know best. Like, forward on weeks, maybe a few months, I just still wasn't feeling myself. I was feeling super down, just anxious, but I didn't know what it was. And at that time, I was in sixth form, I was allowed to take the bus home, and I remember, like, just thinking about it now, it just makes my heart go boom, 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 boom. I used to hate it. It used to make me feel so scared to get on a bus, like, even though I'd been doing it for quite a while, like, I couldn't do it. And what happened was, I actually ended up spending a lot of my savings to take taxis home rather than get on the bus. It was that bad. And even in school, like assemblies, I used to hate them. They just used to make me feel so anxious and like just jumpy. Even to this day, I still hate things like that. And I didn't put it down to anything, but my friends at the time, they were like, oh, it sounds like you're anxious in social situations. So I did a bit of research, and all the symptoms and all, like, when I was reading through, like, it literally described what I was going through. And I didn't want to accept that, because, like, from being able to do things before, like going shopping, getting on a bus, I was finding that hard to do, and it was just so hard to accept that I couldn't do those things. I was finding it difficult. So I eventually broke down to my family and explained what was going on, and from there I went to the doctors, and they do that kind of questionnaire to see how you're feeling and how anxious you're feeling. And I was referred for CBT, but that took like a good, I want to say 4 or 5 months, which probably really isn't that long, because from the future, but now in the past, I've had to wait over a year for CBT. So I carried on with life, had CBT, and I won't lie, like, it helped at that moment, but there were still really hard things that I went through, or found things. Like, I remember I was meant to go to a concert with friends, but ended up bailing, like, so many things. Even to this day, I've cancelled them because I get too scared. Like, if you ask my friends, the amount of times I've cancelled on them, it's ridiculous. But I went to uni, got through uni, woo, got through my PGCE, woo. But there have been ups and downs, like I said before, and it's just now, I guess, finding a way to get through those downs, because when you have ups, it's like such a huge achievement, even though it might be a small step. Yeah. Like, when I look back, I can see traits of having anxiety in primary school, but I didn't know those things existed then, so, you know, I don't know what I thought of it. But when I'm anxious or nervous, I start to feel really sick and nauseous. If you ask my family and even close friends, a lot of things that I used to always say and probably still do is I feel sick, but I think my family will know more about that. That is like what I'm known for saying. I feel sick, I feel sick. And that just goes to show, like, I get nervous, or I got nervous quite a lot, but it's just finding techniques to help you. So I did CBT, I did counselling, and to some extent they helped. But I remember, I think it was last year, I had to go on medication, and some people have different views on medication, but you got to see it as like like when you're physically ill, you're given tablets or you're given medication because you're not well. It's the same mentally. There is nothing wrong with that, and for some people it's the most useful thing ever. So last year I went on medication, and I have to say, to some extent it really did help. It helped with my moods, not as much with my anxiety, and it just made me feel really tired, so I actually came off of it. And it did help me cope better, but also breathing techniques help. So there's this one that's called like the square. So I think it's called the square. You breathe in 4 times, hold it, breathe out 4 times, and it's like 4, 4, 4. There's like the 4, 7, 11. You breathe in 4, hold in 7, breathe out 11, and those techniques really help. Or even things like playing with my fingers or fidget cubes, that helps. Or just distracting myself, just taking your mind out of your mind, I guess, and those thoughts, looking at something else, just distracting yourself, like listening to music. So for example, I went to Barcelona, I think it was last year, and I was just like, oh yeah, fine, and I was really looking forward to it. And the day before I had to get a train to Gatwick, or by my friend's house because she lives by Gatwick, and I was literally crying my eyes out. I was just like, I don't want to go, I'm scared. And like literally, like, it was quite embarrassing for for myself, because I was saying I don't want to go on holiday. Like, that's so ungrateful. Who does not want to go on holiday? But I managed to get the train, and I forewarned my friends. I said, look, if I don't think I can go, I'm not coming. And made it to the airport, and I was like to my friend, so if I don't want to get on the plane, can I just not? She was just like, no, she was like, you can only get out of it if you have like a heart attack, or if they really see you as unfit to get on. And it was at that point where I was just like, oh my god, I think I literally cried. But I made it. I got the flight, and yes, I was so panicky, but I did it, and I was so proud of myself, because that was a big step. I'm actually going to Edinburgh in December, and at the moment, like, ever since I've booked it, I've been really scared, but I'm also excited at the same time, like, because we'll get to see the Christmas markets, so it'll be nice. But it's just finding that time not to overthink, not even finding the time, you just have to not overthink it. You know, there's so many people around us that we probably don't even realise suffer with some form of mental health, whether it be depression, PTSD, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar, eating disorders. You don't know what people are going through, and I guess my tip is just be understanding to the people around you. If somebody wants to have a word, listen, because you never know what people are going through. And I think that's something I try to live by, just be understanding, be patient. Like, I know from my perspective, that's all I want from people, to try and be understanding, see where I'm coming from, which can be a hard thing to understand, but it's something I try to go by, and I hope that other people would want as well. I'd say don't be afraid to speak to other people about it. Most people can be so understanding. If you don't want to speak to someone you're close to, maybe go to doctors, and you know what? They will give you the best advice they can. Like, I think it was last month I decided to go back onto tablets. They just did not agree with me. I had never felt as anxious in my life as I had then. It was so bad. Like just going for a walk, my heart was going. But I came off them, and now it's taking small steps at a time. The other day, some of you may have seen if you have me on Instagram or Facebook, I had breakfast by myself. That's a scary thing. But I did it. I felt so happy afterwards. I'm just like, oh my god, I did that by myself. Because I get so conscious of what people think and stuff like that. And I guess most people do. So take the small things as an achievement. No matter what it is, take your time. Like, yeah. I don't want to keep this video for so long, but if people ever want to talk, I'm here. But there's also other organisations out there. There's your friends, there's your family, co-workers if you're close to them, your GP, Samaritans, what other charities are there? Young Minds for people that are young, because I don't know who's watching this. There's so many out there. Don't be afraid to speak, because I think more people hide than they do talk about it, and there's no shame in it. Like, it's, do you know what, I'm so glad that so many more people speak about it now, because it doesn't make it more stigmatized. I hope that makes sense. But if you have any questions, do let me know, and I do hope this video's helped, or it has had an insight. I wasn't actually going to do this, though people wanted it. I was just like, no, I can't do it, I'm too scared. But you know what, I was just like, I'm going to push myself, and I've done it. So I don't know if people are going to like it. I don't know, I guess I'll have to wait and see. If you do, that's great. If you don't, okay. But, you know, just stay strong.